All right, so get this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into manifestation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you guys requested this one, so I am super pumped to really get into this.
I know, it's a really fascinating topic.
It is, it is.
There's a lot to unpack, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like thoughts becoming reality, and it's like, is this magic or
Yeah, right.
what is going on here?
It's on that edge of
Yeah.
like, whoa, is this real?
And we've got some really interesting sources here
We do.
that approach it from different angles.
Yeah.
We've got like practical tips.
Yeah.
We've got scientific explanations, and then like stories
Oh, yeah.
of people who have actually done this stuff.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
And it's like, is this
Yeah.
real?
What I think is so interesting about it is that it kind of sits right on that line between our inner world,
Yeah.
like our thoughts and our feelings
Yeah.
and beliefs, and then the outer world
Right.
where stuff actually happens.
Right, right, right.
And the question is like, how much control
Yeah.
do we really have over that?
Oh, that's so interesting.
Right.
It's not just wishful thinking, though.
No, it's not just wishful thinking.
That's what I'm getting from these sources.
right.
Is that there's action involved.
Exactly.
So what do you think about that?
I think I think you're exactly right.
Okay.
It's not about just like sitting back
Right.
and waiting for the universe to deliver your
Ah.
dreams on a silver platter.
Yeah.
It's much more about like a dance
Okay.
between setting those intentions
Okay.
and then taking those octave steps
Oh, I like that.
to make them happen.
A dance. Yeah, yeah.
So it's
You
like
got path.
you're a co-creator.
Right.
You're working with the universe,
I like that. Working with it.
not just expecting it to do everything.
Co-creating with the universe. Okay.
Yeah.
So then what is, I guess the first question is like, what is manifestation?
Yeah.
Like at its core. Because I feel like the sources use all these different terms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious, if you had to like define it,
Yeah.
how would you?
I would say, for me, it's all about aligning
Okay.
your energy. And that can mean,
Okay.
thoughts, feelings, actions
Mhm.
with what you want to bring into your life.
Yep.
It's about kind of like making yourself a magnet
Okay.
for the experiences and outcomes you desire.
All right. So this is like, some people call it the law of attraction, right?
Yeah. Sometimes people call it the law of attraction.
Is it kind of the same thing?
It's similar,
Yeah.
but I think it's a little more nuanced than that.
Okay.
It's not just attracting things, it's creating them.
Creating them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's more active, right?
Okay. So it's not just me sitting on my couch being like, I really wish I had $1 million.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, it didn't show up.
Yeah.
It's not quite like that.
Yeah. It's not quite like that.
There's work involved.
There is, yeah.
Okay.
It's like anything else you want to achieve in life.
Right.
You have to put in the effort.
Okay. So give me an example. Like, what do you mean?
Well, think about it this way. You could dream about climbing Mount Everest all you want,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to get to the summit without training
Oh, okay. Okay.
and preparing
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and actually taking those steps up the mountain.
Yeah. Okay.
So manifestation is kind of like that too.
Okay.
It's about taking those aligned actions
Got it. Got it.
that are going to move you towards your goals.
Now, the science behind this,
Yes.
I'm fascinated by this because the sources mention
Yeah.
stuff about neuroscience
Mhm.
and how our brains can literally be rewired
Yeah.
through our thoughts.
It's amazing.
Did you talk about that?
Yeah. So one of the most fascinating findings is that our brains sometimes have trouble distinguishing
Oh, wow.
between what we imagine
Really?
and what's real.
Oh, wow.
So when we really vividly visualize our goal, our brains actually start to create neural pathways
Wow.
as if we were already experiencing them.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that amazing?
So it's almost like we're tricking our brains a little bit
In a way, yes.
to think that what we want
Yeah.
is already happening.
It's kind of like we're giving it a preview
Oh, wow.
of the future we want to create.
Okay.
And that primes us to see opportunities
Yeah.
to make better decisions, to take action
Oh, wow. That's so interesting.
that align with those visualized outcomes.
So you're saying just by like vividly imagining something,
Yeah.
we're literally changing the structure of our brains.
Yeah, you could say that.
Wow.
It's like building a mental blueprint
Okay.
for your desired reality.
Okay.
And the more you focus on it,
Right.
the stronger those neural pathways become,
Uh-huh.
and the more likely you are to attract those outcomes into your life.
So we've established it's not just about wishing and hoping.
Right.
There's science behind it.
Uh-huh.
There's action involved.
Yep.
But one of our sources actually gives like 5 steps to manifest effectively.
Hmm.
And I'm curious to hear like which one of those really resonates most with you.
The one that really speaks to me is the step about letting go of attachment.
Okay.
It's kind of a paradox because you think, the more tightly you grip onto a specific outcome,
Right.
the more you might actually be blocking it from
Oh,
manifesting.
interesting.
It's about surrendering to the process
Okay.
and trusting that the universe might have something
Yeah.
even better in store for you.
So it's like trying too hard almost backfires.
Sometimes, yeah.
So you're setting the intention, you're taking action,
Hmm.
but then you're kind of letting go a little bit
Exactly.
and being open to however it unfolds.
Yeah, it's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
between effort and surrender.
Okay.
And the source also talks about these common pitfalls
Oh,
people
yeah.
fall into when they're trying to manifest.
Yeah.
And the one that I always find interesting
Uh-huh.
is being too vague with your desires.
Oh, okay.
It's like placing a takeout order,
Yeah.
but not telling them what you want to eat.
Yeah, right. Like, I want food.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So instead of saying, like, I want more money,
Okay.
you'd be better off saying,
Yeah.
I want to earn $10,000 a month.
Right. Be specific.
Yeah, from my online business.
Right.
Be really specific.
All right. So, like, the more specific,
Yeah.
the better.
Yeah.
All right.
It's about sending a clear signal to the universe.
Okay.
Remember, you're co-creating here.
Okay.
The more specific you are with your order,
Right.
the better equipped the universe is to deliver.
Gotcha. All right. So specificity is key.
Yes.
What about self-doubt
Oh, self-doubt.
and giving up too soon?
Yeah.
Because those are also in the source.
Those are big ones.
As like mistakes people make.
Yeah.
So how do those play into this whole process?
Self-doubt is like a giant stop sign.
Okay.
On your manifestation journey,
Okay.
it blocks that flow
Yep.
of positive energy. It makes it so much harder to believe in the possibility
All right.
of achieving your goal.
All right.
And if you don't believe it yourself,
Yeah.
it's going to be tough to convince the universe.
Yeah, right. It's like that thing of like, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Exactly.
So how do we combat that?
Yeah, well, one powerful technique is to start replacing
Okay.
those negative thoughts
Uh-huh.
with positive affirmations.
Okay.
So instead of saying,
Right.
I'm not good enough,
Yeah.
try saying, I am capable and deserving of success.
Okay. So it's like, I know those affirmations can sound kind of cheesy sometimes,
They can.
but you're saying like there's actually power
There's power in them.
in shifting your thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it can make a huge difference.
And what about giving up too soon?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Because that's not even just like with manifestation.
Right.
That's with everything in life
Right.
that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, we live in a world of instant gratification.
Right.
So it's easy to get discouraged
Yeah.
when we don't see results immediately.
Exactly. Yeah.
But manifestation is a process, not a microwave.
I like that.
It takes time for those seeds that you plant
Yeah.
to sprout and grow.
That's a good analogy.
And just like a gardener
Yeah.
wouldn't dig up their seeds a week after planting them
I think.
to see if they're growing.
Yeah.
You have to be patient
Right.
and trust the process.
Trust the process. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of seeing things sprout and grow, I want to hear some stories.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear about people who have actually done this stuff.
Let's do it.
And the sources mention some
Yeah.
pretty amazing examples.
They do.
So,
I think these stories are really going to highlight the power of belief
okay.
and how it can actually shape our reality.
All right. I'm ready to be inspired.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So before we get into these crazy stories,
Mhm.
I have a question for you
Okay.
that I think it's probably on a lot of listeners' minds too.
Yeah.
Is this like for everyone?
Right.
Or is this just for like
Yeah.
celebrities or people who are already like,
Yeah.
have some sort of advantage?
That's a great question, and I think it's totally understandable.
Yeah.
Because when you see these like
Right. Yeah.
really big, dramatic examples of manifestation,
Yeah.
it's easy to think like,
Right.
well, that's great for them, but that wouldn't work for me.
Right. Exactly.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
At its core, manifestation is really about aligning your energy
Okay.
with your goals.
Okay.
And that's something that anyone can do,
Okay.
no matter where they're starting from.
Okay. So it's less about luck
Yeah.
and more about like actively shaping your reality.
I think so.
But then how much control do we actually have? Because
Uh-huh.
life throws curveballs.
It does.
Things happen
Yep.
that we can't predict or plan for.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Good point.
manifestation is not about becoming some kind of all-powerful puppet master,
Okay. Right.
controlling every aspect of your life.
Right. Okay.
It's more about recognizing
Okay.
that you have more influence
Okay.
than you might realize.
Got it.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
You're on a river,
Right. Okay.
and you can't control the current.
Right.
You can't
Except
control
the way it's flowing.
the direction the river flows.
Yeah.
But you can steer your boat,
Okay.
and you can adjust your sails
I like that.
to make the most of the conditions.
Okay.
Right.
So it's not about forcing things to happen,
Right.
but more about like
Yeah.
aligning yourself with the flow
Exactly.
and making conscious choices
Yeah.
that move you in the direction you want to go.
Exactly. It's about working with the universe,
Okay.
not against it.
Working with it, not against it.
And it's important to remember that it's a process.
Right.
It's not a quick fix.
Okay.
Right.
No shortcuts.
It takes time. It takes effort.
Okay.
It takes consistency.
Okay.
You're essentially retraining your mind
Okay.
to focus on what you want
Mm-hmm.
and to believe in the possibility of achieving it.
So it's really about the journey,
Yeah,
not just the destination.
I think so.
Okay.
I think that's where the real growth happens.
Mm.
It's in that journey
Okay.
of cultivating that positive mindset,
Right.
overcoming self-doubt,
Mm-hmm.
and taking those consistent steps forward,
Yeah.
even when you don't see results immediately.
Building that resilience muscle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because challenges are going to come up,
Oh, for sure.
right?
Yeah.
Life throws them at everyone.
Yeah.
It's how you respond to those challenges
Right.
that really matters.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And that's where the power of a strong mindset really comes in.
And speaking of mindset,
Yeah.
we talked before about positive affirmations and replacing negative thoughts with empowering ones.
Right.
But do the sources have any other advice on
Yeah,
cultivating that
they do.
unshakable belief?
One practice that really stood out to me
Okay.
was the idea of gratitude.
Okay.
When you focus on what you're grateful for,
Yeah.
it really shifts your entire energy.
Right.
It takes you out of that scarcity mindset of
Yeah.
like, I don't have enough,
Yeah.
and puts you into a state of abundance,
Okay.
appreciating all the good things that are already present in your life.
It's like that saying, what you focus on expands.
Exactly.
So if you're constantly thinking about
Yeah.
what you don't have,
Yeah.
you're actually attracting more of that.
Yeah, you're attracting more lack into your life.
Right.
But if you're focusing on all the good things
Yeah.
that you're grateful for,
Yeah.
you're opening yourself up to receiving more abundance.
Gratitude is key.
It's a powerful magnet for positivity.
Love it. Love it.
And it's about, recognizing the good in your life,
Yeah.
even the small things,
Yeah.
and feeling genuine appreciation for them.
The little things. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the sources also talk about
Yes.
taking action.
Yeah.
But it's not just any action, right?
Right. It's about taking inspired action.
Inspired action. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Well, it's about, feeling aligned with your actions.
Okay.
It's not about forcing yourself
Yeah.
to do things that feel heavy or draining.
Right.
Inspired action feels exciting,
Oh, okay.
feels energizing.
Okay.
It's like you're being pulled forward
Okay.
by a sense of purpose
Okay.
rather than pushing yourself uphill.
Okay. So how do we tap into that?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Is it just like waiting for the perfect moment?
Sometimes it can feel like that.
Yeah.
But, inspiration often comes when we're in motion.
Okay.
It's like tuning into a radio station.
Okay.
You might have to adjust the dial a bit
Right.
to find that clear signal.
Yeah.
And in the same way,
Yeah.
you might have to try different things.
Right.
You might have to experiment,
Yeah.
step outside your comfort zone a little bit
Right,
to
right.
find what truly lights you up.
So being open to exploring different paths and trusting that
Right.
the right things will show up.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about following your curiosity,
Yeah.
listening to your intuition,
Mm-hmm.
and being willing to course correct
Right.
when needed.
I like that. It takes the pressure off
Yeah.
of having to have it all figured out
Oh,
before you
okay.
even start.
Exactly.
Now, before we move on to these stories,
Cool.
I do have
Yeah.
one other question.
Right?
And it's kind of about the potential downside of all this.
Right.
We've talked about the power of it.
Yeah.
But are there any risks?
That's a really important question.
Yeah.
And I think one that doesn't always get enough attention.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
While manifestation can be this incredibly powerful tool
Mm-hmm.
for personal growth
Yeah.
and positive change,
Right.
it's important to use it wisely
Okay.
and responsibly.
So it's not just about getting whatever you want,
Right.
no matter what.
Exactly.
There's a bigger picture here.
Yeah, there's a bigger picture.
Okay, so then what are some of the pitfalls?
Okay, so one of the big ones
Okay.
is the potential for using manifestation
Okay.
to try to control or manipulate.
Oh, other people.
So instead of focusing on our own growth,
Right.
we might try to manifest something that impacts other people
Exactly.
without their consent.
Yeah, that's kind of crossing the line.
Right.
Imagine someone trying to manifest a specific person falling in love with them.
Oh, yeah.
Or manipulating situations to benefit themselves at the expense of others.
Yeah.
It's really about, using this powerful tool for selfish gain.
Rather than for genuine connection.
Oh, okay.
Or positive change.
So it's like, instead of trying to force someone to love you, you're creating a life that's so great that people want to be a part of it.
That's a much better approach.
Okay.
Right.
I like that.
It's about focusing on our own growth.
Yeah.
And evolution.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to bend other people's wills.
Got it.
To fit our desires.
Okay. Are there any other ethical considerations?
Yeah, another one that comes up a lot is the idea of using manifestation to kind of hoard resources.
Okay.
Or further entrench existing inequalities.
Okay, so it's one thing to manifest abundance for yourself.
Right.
But what if that's at the expense of others?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What if it's perpetuating those systems of scarcity?
Yeah.
And keeping resources out of the hands of those who need them most.
That's a good point.
So it's really important to think about that.
Okay.
The broader impact of our manifestation.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected.
Right.
And our actions have ripple effects.
Yeah.
So it's about asking ourselves, how can I manifest in a way that benefits not just myself, but the collective good?
So it's not just about getting what we want.
Right.
It's making sure that our desires are aligned with a better world.
Exactly.
With our values.
It's about using this powerful tool for good.
Yeah.
Not just for personal gain.
Yeah, okay.
It's about recognizing that true abundance isn't about accumulating more and more for ourselves, but about creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
Wow, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
It's like taking manifestation to a whole other level.
I think so.
Yeah, it's not just about my stuff. It's about a
bigger picture.
The collective.
Yeah. And it makes the whole process even more meaningful. Fulfilling.
Right.
Because when you know that your manifestations are aligned with your values and with a greater purpose, it gives you this sense of purpose and direction that goes beyond just getting what you want.
That's beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about contributing to something bigger than yourself.
I love that.
Yeah.
So as we're getting ready to kind of wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways or practical tips for people who are
for people just starting out.
All right, I'm ready to manifest.
Yeah.
What do I do?
I would say the first step is to get really clear on your values.
Okay.
What's truly important to you?
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you want to make on the world?
So it's like creating a personal compass.
Yeah, exactly.
To guide your manifestations.
Yeah.
So you're going in the right direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Once you have that clarity, you can start setting intentions and taking actions that are in harmony with those values.
So it's not just about what we want, but why we want it.
Exactly.
And making sure that that's coming from a good place.
From a place of integrity. And a desire to create positive change.
Okay.
Remember, manifestation is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
It's about continuous learning, growth, and refinement.
Okay.
It's about being open to feedback, course correcting when needed, and always striving to align your actions with your highest aspirations.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
Because it takes the pressure off of having to be perfect.
Yeah, you don't have to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Right. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate your successes.
Yeah.
Learn from your challenges.
Okay.
And just trust in the unfolding.
Trust the process.
Of your journey.
Trust the process.
Yeah.
So we're back. And like I said before the break, I want to talk about this whole ethical manifestation thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It is. It's something I haven't really thought about a lot. But I'm realizing how important it is to this whole conversation.
Yeah, it's one of those areas where things can get a little tricky.
Okay.
But it's important to consider.
Right.
Because, just because we can manifest something doesn't necessarily mean we should.
Right. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly.
So what are some examples of that?
Okay. So one of the big ones is this potential for using manifestation to try to control or manipulate other people.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So instead of focusing on our own personal growth, we're trying to manifest outcomes that impact other people, even without their consent.
Yeah, and that feels kind of icky.
Yeah, right?
It does. Like, imagine someone trying to manifest a specific person falling in love with them, or trying to manipulate situations to benefit themselves at the expense of others.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like using this powerful tool for selfish gain.
Okay.
Rather than for, like, genuine connection or positive change.
It's like instead of trying to force someone to love you.
Right.
You're creating a life so awesome that people just want to be a part of it.
Exactly. That's the much better approach.
Okay, what else?
Well, another ethical consideration is using manifestation to hoard resources.
Okay.
Or to kind of further entrench these existing inequalities.
Okay, so it's one thing to manifest abundance for yourself.
Right.
But what if that means that other people are suffering?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, what if it's perpetuating those systems of scarcity?
Right.
That are keeping resources from the people who need them the most.
That's a really good point.
So it's important to think about the broader impact of our manifestations.
Our actions have ripple effects.
Exactly.
Right.
We're all interconnected.
It all comes back around.
Yeah, so it's about asking ourselves, how can I manifest in a way that benefits not just myself, but the collective good?
So it's not just about getting what we want.
Right.
It's about making sure our desires are aligned with our values.
Yes.
And with a better world for everyone.
Exactly. It's about using this powerful tool for good.
Right.
Not just for personal gain.
Okay. Okay, I like that.
And recognizing that true abundance is not about accumulating more and more for ourselves.
Okay.
But about creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
So we're all thriving together.
Exactly.
Okay, that's beautiful.
It's taking it to a whole other level.
It is.
Right?
Yeah, it's not just about my stuff. Yeah. It's about all of us together.
And it makes the whole process more meaningful.
Right.
And fulfilling.
Yeah.
Because when you know that your manifestations are aligned with your values, with a greater purpose, it gives you this sense of purpose and direction. That goes beyond just getting what you want.
That's awesome. I love that.
Right.
So much bigger.
It's about contributing to something bigger than yourself.
Yes, yes. Okay, so as we're wrapping up, what are some key takeaways or practical tips?
Yeah, so for people who are just starting out.
Yeah, who are like, okay, I'm ready to manifest. What do I do?
I would say the first step is get really clear on your values.
Okay.
What's truly important to you. What kind of impact do you want to make on the world?
So you're creating that personal compass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To guide your manifestation.
To keep you on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you have that clarity,
you
can start setting intentions, taking actions that are in harmony with those values.
So it's not just about what we want, but why we want it.
Exactly.
And making sure it's coming from a good place.
Yeah. From a place of integrity.
Okay.
A desire to create positive change.
Awesome.
And remember, manifestation is a journey. Not a destination.
Yeah, it's not a quick fix.
It's about continuous learning.
Yeah.
Growth. Refinement.
All right.
It's about being open to feedback.
Yeah.
Course correcting when needed.
Right.
And always striving to align your actions with your highest aspirations.
That's great because it takes the pressure off of being perfect.
Exactly. You don't have to have it all figured out.
Yeah, just keep going.
Right. Be patient with yourself.
Okay.
Celebrate your successes. Learn from your challenges.
Right.
Trust the process. Trust the unfolding of your journey.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on manifestation.
I'm so glad.
It's not just about attracting things.
Yeah.
It's about creating our reality.
Yes.
Individually and collectively.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
Likewise. This has been awesome.
And remember, listeners, your thoughts have power.
Yes.
Choose to wield that power wisely, ethically, and with a heart full of intention.
Yeah. Beautiful. Such a good reminder.
Thank you.
This has been another deep dive, and we will see you guys next time.